Hello, good day. I am Irene Asatubay, BA3 Lat Section G. I am presenting to you my personal views on the roles of literature, its essence and functions. My personal view on the roles of literature. So first, lifeblood. So the first bullet states that literature is my lifeblood. So I cannot imagine how life without literature. So if it is drained away or missing, I would just say that it is over. So the second one is didactic. So the second bullet states that literature is didactic because it tries to give us lessons about morality. The third one is satirical. So the third bullet states that literature is satirical because it shows the wrongs in society. So the fourth one introduces us to new worlds of experience. So the fourth bullet states that literature introduces us to new worlds of experience. This means that we learn about books and literature. We enjoy the comedies and tragedies of poems, stories, and plays. And we may even grow and evolve through our literary journey with books. Fifth, gives us a reflection of society. So the fifth bullet states that literature gives us a reflection of society. So this actively demonstrates that it gives us information about the good things and bad things that happen to society. It helps us better understand the period. Sixth is it gives us information and knowledge. So the sixth bullet states that literature gives us information and knowledge. So for the exact purpose of through literature, we sometimes understand situations we cannot otherwise understand in real life, right? So, seventh gives us a broader perspective of the world. So, the seventh bullet states that literature gives us a broader perspective of the world. So, it means that it has made us less judgmental and more accepting of diverse opinions. So, we start understanding things beyond superficial levels. So we become a better person with literature. And lastly, makes us appreciate language. So the last bullet states that literature makes us appreciate language. So good writing is pleasurable, and I don't necessarily mean writing that uses lots of fancy words. I mean writing that has a rhythm and form, and which uses language in a way that pleases the inner ear, or which brings you to a better understanding of something, or which lets you see something. Next is the essence and functions of literature. So one function of literature is for pleasure. So this is the main function of literature. So to entertain the readers, or in other words, to give them pleasure. So we read literature mostly because we enjoy it, right? We get pleasure every time from reading good verses or other interesting facts and scientific works. So people spend a lot of time looking for something that pleases them, and literature is something that does that. The second one, so the second function of literature is knowledge sharing. So this is the most basic and important function of literature. So we can learn many new things about the world with its help. So we can fill ourselves with knowledge and become smarter, right? So the third function of literature is shaping the aesthetic taste. So literature helps us to form our vision of beauty. So it pleasantly influences us, changing our behavior in society and attitude towards people in general. So it helps us to notice everything beautiful around us. So aside from that, another function of literature is self-development. So this actively demonstrates that literature helps us to develop ourselves thanks to the books, articles, magazines. We have the opportunity to fill ourselves with new knowledge, cultivate good qualities, and strive for something more. Not only that, but literature also shapes our speech. So the way we speak. So the more a person reads, the more words they learn, so as well as different designs and options for constructing sentences. So people can enrich their vocabulary thanks to literature. Lastly, the final function of literature is that it relieves humans. So this means either writers or readers, it helps them relieve from the pressure of emotion. Then we have here, as for the uniqueness of each literary genre, I will present this to you in table form. So we have here on the first column, the literary genre, and on the other side is the feature. So fiction is a genre of literature. So fiction is a story that did not actually happen in real life. So an example of fiction is Twilight. We knew that Twilight is fiction because it's about vampires, which aren't real. So non-fiction is also a genre of literature. So non-fiction is writing that is real and factual, or that actually happened. So an example of non-fiction is any textbook that you read in school. So like a history textbook. Poetry also is part of the genre in literature. So poetry is writing using language and sounds in special ways to express ideas. So an example of poetry is the rose is red, the violet's blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you. So these words are told in a special way that have rhyme and rhythm. The last part talks about the uniqueness of each approaches in literary criticism. So on the first column, it is there the list of the literary criticism, and on the other side are its features. So first is the historical biographical approach. So this deals with the author's life and time characters. So this approach works well for some works which are political in nature. Then we have feminist approach. So this deals with the impact of gender on writing and reading. So this approach redresses the problem. And lastly, reader response approach. So this deals with reader's response and its role in the production of meaning. So this approach recognizes that different people view works differently, right? Then people's interpretation change over time. To end my presentation, let me leave you with a quote: "Literature is a comprehensive essence of the intellectual life of a nation," by William Shakespeare. Thank you and God bless.